I've had choices since the day that I was born. There were voices that told me right from...
George Glenn Jones was born in Saratoga, Texas on September 12, 1931. One of 8 children in a poor family, his father was an alcoholic who sometimes grew violent. We were our daddy's loved ones when he was sober, his prisoners when he was drunk. Jones later wrote in his autobiography, "I lived to tell it all." But despite these hardships, Jones and his family members shared a love of music, often singing hymns together and listening to records by the likes of the Carter family. They also enjoyed listening to the radio, tuning into programs from the Grand Ole Opry. When Jones was 9, his father bought him his first guitar, and when he began to display an early talent, he was sent out to the streets to perform and help earn money for the family. By his early teens, he found himself playing in the dive bars of Beaumont, Texas, as well, and at the age 16, he left home for Jasper, Texas, where he worked as a singer at local radio station KTXJ, and nurtured his admiration for the music of Hank Williams.
A fellow that writes just as many songs as most anybody in the country and sings them just as well when it comes to the country style of singing. Hank Williams. Thank you, Roy. I've got a song here that I'd like to do that's been awful kind to me and the boys. It's bought us quite a few beans and biscuits. This is the best song we've ever had financially. A little tune called Cold, Cold Heart. I try so hard, my dear, to show that you're my everything.
Jones returned to Beaumont a few years later, and in 1950 he married Dorothy Bonvillian. The couple had a daughter, Susan, shortly thereafter, but their union was short-lived, at least in part because of the explosive temper and fondness for drink that Jones had inherited from his father. After their divorce, Jones joined the U.S. Marines and served during the Korean War. However, he was never sent overseas, instead finding himself stationed in San Jose, California, where he continued to indulge in his love of music by performing in the city's bars. When he completed his military service in 1953, Jones continued to indulge his passion and was soon discovered by producer Pappy Daly, co-owner of Starday Records. Daly quickly signed Jones to a recording contract and became his producer and his manager, a partnership that would last for years. Jones closed out the 1954 decade with his first #1 single, the comical White Lightning, which also managed to cross over into the pop charts, number 73.
Get it, pass it around. Mighty, mighty please and Pappy starts. Shh, white lightning. Well, the TBN revenues too. Certainly for a place where he made it through. They were looking trying to looking for my Pappy them. Shh, white lightning.
Maintaining his success on the music charts, Jones's personal life was in turmoil. Due to his ongoing substance abuse, his second marriage to Shirley Corley had already begun to deteriorate. But when he met and fell in love with fellow country star Tammy Wynette, its fate was sealed. Jones and Shirley divorced in 1968, and the following year, Jones married Wynette. More than just a romantic union, in 1969, the newlyweds began to make music together as well. Breaking ties with Pappy Daly, Jones had also began working with one of Wynette's producers, Billy Sherrill, who added a certain polish to Jones's sound. Jones and Wynette's partnership began auspiciously enough, with a number of their duets, including The Ceremony and Take Me, reaching the top 10.
Desert, 1,000 miles from the nearest sea. The very first moment I saw your smile.
They both continued to do well on their own, too, with Jones releasing several top-charting singles. Around this time, Wynette also gave birth to their daughter, Tamala Georgette, and by all outward appearances, Jones and Wynette were the era's reigning king and queen of country. Behind the scenes, however, Jones continued. He battled with drug and alcohol abuse, and his relationship with Wynette turned tense and combative. In 1973, things reached their breaking point, and Wynette filed for divorce. The couple attempted to reconcile and release the single We're Gonna Hold On in 1973, but while the song was a success, making it to the top of the country charts, Jones and Wynette's marriage continued to decline.
We're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on to each other. Life can be rough. Sometimes it's kind. A real good night is hard to find. But the thing love is the one we know. And the faith we have between us makes it grow.
Some love lives, Lord, and some love don't. But we got the kind of love we want. Brings us happiness all through the day. And nothing can ever make it go away.
We're gonna hold on.
Jones' heartache seemed to seep out on his 1974 solo hit, The Grand Tour.
Get driving. Come on in. If you'd like to take the Grand Tour.
A gut-wrenching ballad about the end of a marriage. He and Wynette divorced the following year. Despite their separation, however, Jones and Wynette continued to work together from time to time, recording hits such as the #1 single Golden Ring and Near You. By the mid-1970s, Jones was falling apart, both physically and emotionally, as the years of drinking and drug abuse began to take their toll. But in 1980, he returned to the top of the charts with He Stopped Loving Her Today from the album I Am What I Am, Jones's biggest seller to that point.
I watch the years pass slowly by. She still preyed on his mind. He kept her pictures on his wall. Went half crazy now and then. Ah, but he still loved her through it all. Kept hoping she'd come back again.
He married Nancy Sepulvado in March of 1983 and later said that it was her love that had helped him straighten up. Though he remained a darling of country music critics in the 1990s and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1992, Jones seemed to be pushed off the radio by a new generation of country stars like Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, and Shania Twain. Around this time, Jones also gave the public an inside view at all of his troubles and triumphs with his autobiography, I Live to Tell It All, in 1996. In his later years, Jones continued to maintain a rigorous tour schedule, playing numerous dates across the country, and in 2012, he garnered one of the greatest honors of his career, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award.
Talk to you, and congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award. How does it feel to be here this afternoon, knowing this honor you're going to receive?
Well, I tell you what, I just feel wonderful, and it's a great honor to still be remembered, you know, at my age. It feels real good, you know, and we're happy, and we thank all our fans for making it possible, and we're just looking forward to all of it.
You set so many standards in country.
Jones died on April 26, 2013, at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee, where the 81-year-old had reportedly been hospitalized with irregular blood pressure and a fever just a week earlier. With a career spanning more than 50 years, Jones is regarded as one of country music's all-time greatest stars. His clear, strong voice and ability to convey so many emotions won over thousands of fans, as well as earning him the envy of his peers. As fellow country star Waylon Jennings once said, "If we could sound the way we wanted, we'd all sound like George Jones."
He'd been in the hospital like 4 or 5 days. I hadn't spoke a word, never opened his eyes. And the doctor came by and he said, I'll be back around 1 or 2, because he said he'll probably pass by then. And I'm like, oh, but please come back. Don't leave me here. And he said, oh, you got family here? And I said, no, I want you here. He said, okay, I'll be back. I promise. I'm going to take a shower and come back. When he came back, we were standing at the foot of the bed, and George just hadn't said nothing. I mean, and all of a sudden he opened his eyes, and I was fixing to go toward him, and the doctor kind of held me back, and George said, well, hello there. He said, I've been looking for you. He said, my name's George Jones. And he was gone. He closed his eyes, and that was the end of it. So in my heart, I know he was talking to God.
Ah, but he still loved her through it all. Kept hoping she'd come back again. And he found love letters by his bed, dated 1962. He had underlined and read every single I love. I went to see my friend today, but I didn't see no tears. He was all dressed up to go away. First time I'd seen him smile in years. He stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. You know, she came back for her last time today. Oh, and we all wondered if she would. And it kept running through my mind. Well, this time, he's over her for good. And he stopped loving her. They placed a wreath upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. I don't need your rocking chair, your Geritol or your Medicare. Well, I still got neon in my vein. This gray hair don't mean a thing. I do my rocking on the stage. You can't put this possum in a cage. My body's old, but it ain't impaired. I don't need your rocking chair. I ain't ready for the junkyard yet. 'Cause I still feel like a new Corvette. It might take a little longer, but I'll get there. Well, I don't need your rocking chair. I don't need your rocking chair. Your Geritol or your Medicare. I've still got neon in my veins. This gray hair don't mean a thing. I do my rocking on the stage. Can't put this possum in a cage. My body's old, but it ain't impaired. Well, I don't need this rocking chair. Retirement don't fit in my plan. You can keep your seat, I'm gonna stand. An Eskimo needs a Frigidaire, like I need your rocking chair. I don't need your rocking chair. Your Geritol or your Medicare.